How's it going, everybody? I'm Lewis and we've got a new poll from the Old School RuneScape team, so let's go ahead and vote in this poll. So, this is Blood and Soul runecrafting. If you want to know a little bit more information about Blood and Soul runecrafting, I'm going to provide a link to the dev blog they had for this poll at the end of this video. Now, they've only got 2 questions in this poll, which in my dev blog video I predicted that they might try and poll a few other things, but they haven't, so let's get into what the questions are. So both of these questions are very similar. Question 1. Should they introduce the Blood runecrafting altar in the first batch of Zeah updates to come in January 2016? Level 77 runecrafting will be required to craft blood runes, and crafting blood runes will provide a maximum of 38,000 runecrafting experience per hour. Similarly, question 2 is, should they introduce Soul runecrafting altar in the first batch of Zeah updates to come in January 2016? Level 90 runecrafting will be required to craft soul runes, and crafting soul runes could provide a maximum of 45,000 runecrafting experience per hour. Now, in my original developer blog video, I felt quite positive about the Blood and Soul runecrafting. I kind of liked the idea of having to use Dark Essence, and I thought that it could provide a great high-level runecrafting experience where you're still doing similar runecrafting, but just at a high level, obviously. However, when I see these questions, specifically the way they're telling us the maximum amount of experience we can get per hour making these, I'm really put off. The way I see runecrafting is quite simple. You can go for fast, expensive ways of getting the experience. That's doing lava runes. I believe you can get maybe 50 or more KXP an hour. Or you can do the slow, money-making methods such as astrals, laws, and nature runes. These all get you between the range of 20 and 30k experience an hour. I kind of feel that the jump between 30k with astrals and not getting that much money to blood runecrafting, which will probably get you quite a bit of money, and 38,000 experience an hour is quite a bit. Similarly, I think a jump where you're making soul runes, which will definitely get you a lot of money, up to 45,000 runecrafting experience per hour is way too much. I think the reason for this is potentially they've scaled the amount of experience per rune completely wrong, or they've just made the bank too close to the altar. Now, I'll tell you what I mean by this. Air runes are 5 experience per rune. The next rune is a mine rune, and that goes up by 0.5 experience per rune. This trend carries on throughout all of the runes to death runes, which are roughly 10 experience, give or take a few points. That would mean that blood runes will be about 10.5 and soul runes will be 11 experience per rune. I don't think that increase would provide that much experience per hour difference. I could potentially see a maximum of 40,000 runecrafting experience per hour with soul runes at level 90 being balanced, but not 45,000. And trust me, when you're going in a slow skill such as runecrafting, that 5,000 does make a difference, and I feel that that isn't quite balanced. As for whether we need blood and soul runecrafting in the game, personally I'd argue we don't. We've had the game for 2.5 years, and we've not needed it. Really, they're just looking for content they can put into this idea that they've had for a new continent. Which, again, I would argue is a little bit unnecessary. However, it could be good if it gets the right content. So obviously, if they're adding Zeah, having these in game will be quite good. Obviously, it'll fit well with the content they're designing. However, I just hope that they actually poll, as in singularly, this Zeah update. I know that they polled a long time ago, do you want Zeah? But that was over a year ago, or almost a year ago now, and I wouldn't say that that poll is equivalent to these Zeah updates that they're saying they're going to give us. So, that being said, I am really biting my tongue for this, because I think this content would fit well in Zeah. I really hate the amount of experience gained here. It's at least equivalent to what ZMI gave you, and I really don't want that in Old School RuneScape. So what am I going to vote? Obviously, I'm quite against the amount of experience per hour. However, I think it would actually fit really well in Zeah. So I'm quite angry, kind of wound up, but I'm going to have to bite my tongue and vote yes to these updates. Simply for the fact that I know they will fit well into Zeah, and I really don't want Zeah to be screwed up. Unfortunately, this means runecrafting is going to be changed quite a bit. I just hope that the dark essence that they mentioned will be a bit more of a pain to get than regular pure essence. However, I highly doubt it's going to make that much of a difference, because I imagine dark essence is created from pure and/or rune essence. So let's have a look at what everyone else has voted in this poll. So far we've only had 8,345 votes. 89.1% want the blood runecrafting altar to be added to the Zeah update. and 87.7% want soul runecrafting to be added into that Zeah update. For me, this has actually been one of the worst polls I've had to vote in. If they had a change vote option, I'm sure I would be constantly changing it throughout the week. However, I've made my decision, I'm going to have to stick with it, and hopefully the game will benefit from it. So obviously we've only had 8,345 votes so far. If you've not voted in this poll yet, please make sure you go ahead and vote. This is a community game, and every single update that goes into it is voted on by the community. What do you think about adding the blood and soul runecrafting altars to the game? Let me know in the comments below. Potentially you prefer ZMI, RuneSpan, or something else entirely. If you want to watch the latest Old School RuneScape update, please click here for Monster Examine and Deadman. And if you want to watch the dev blog for this poll, please click here. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and share, and if you want to keep up to date with the Old School RuneScape updates, dev blogs and polls, please subscribe. I've been Lewis, thanks for watching, goodbye.